Hey, Brennan here. Welcome to the channel and thanks for tuning in. Welcome to week 6 edition of the College Football Stock Report. I'm going to be going solo today. Jason DiRienzo, my podcast co-host, who typically joins me on these shows, is dealing with Hurricane Milton this week. So he's got far more important things to worry about than jumping on the YouTube channel here. So this is going to be a condensed version. I'm going to be talking about 2 stock up players in college football and 2 stock down players. Players who are just not living up to the hype so far. So you play Devy C2C format. If you play Dynasty and you're looking what the future holds, some of these players you're going to be drafting in future rookie drafts in 2026 and 2027. So hit that subscribe button. Help me grow the channel. This channel is dedicated to helping you get ready for future rookie drafts. So the 2025 content, tons of it on this channel. Again, hit that subscribe button. Let's get to the show. All right, you can see Jason over here is a still image. Like I said, he is dealing with Milton, but I don't want to change all my imagery on the show. So I'm just going to put a static image of him there. Might be a little awkward, but nonetheless, let's get to our stock up players. All right, Jason and I, we did a breakdown of the incoming freshmen, of all the positions this past summer. And tight end was a show that we did. And Landon Thomas, a tight end from Florida State, was, I think, my number 4 or 5 ranked tight end of freshmen coming into the class. And he had a breakout game this week against Clemson. He had 8 targets for 7 receptions for 80 yards, 87% catch percentage. What I like was his versatility in this game. I'll be putting out a highlight film of that game here very shortly in the next day or two. But he was used 36% in the slot and then in line. He didn't get any kind of run outside on the boundary, which we don't typically get from our tight ends. But man, he had also 47 yak yards, and that is what made me have him be the stock up player this week. Liked his ability with the ball in his hands. Before this game, he had one catch for 33 yards. So he got involved, and I'm expecting right now, Florida State is not having a great season. I'm expecting them to start playing their young guys. And Landon Thomas right now looked really good in this game. So he had to be a stock up player for me. You know, we're always looking for those tight ends in college football who are going to hit our dynasty roster. So keep your eye on Landon Thomas, Florida State freshman tight end. He is on our 2027 NFL draft board, all right, in the tight end room. All right. Second player I want to talk about is Minnesota running back Darius Taylor, all right, 6 foot, 215 pounds, good size. His versatility is just really impressive, all right. So last year as a freshman, he ran for 591 yards, 4 TDs, and I believe he got injured in the second half of the season. But he's back this year, 403 yards, 5 TDs. He's put the ball on the floor 1 time. But I really like, he has 26 receptions already this year out of 30 targets, right? So we love that PPR ability, right? When we're looking and scouting future dynasty players, we love to get those running backs that catch the ball out of the backfield. And right now, he's averaging 5.6 yards a tote. Last year, he averaged 5.7. But I like what I see on the field. He's still a developing player, and that's what we have to keep in mind when we're looking at these players. He is on my 2026 draft board right now. So he'll be eligible not this year in 2025 or really next year in 2025, but he's only a sophomore. He is not, but he'll be a true junior next year. Keep your eye on Darius Taylor, man. I really like what I've seen so far. I like his footwork. He's got enough power. I like his pad level. He's got some bursts. He's got acceleration to get around the edges, and he's got that physicality that I love in running backs where he fights for every yard. So far, so good. Decent vision, hits the cutback lanes. So I'm going to be putting some videos out on him. I know that this is a player that Jason and I are going to be scouting heavily probably, throughout the college football season. So again, hit that subscribe button to make sure you don't miss any of the videos and highlights that we put down on this channel. All right, we'd love to talk about guys that are overachieving or have caught our eye on film as we scout these players, but it's also time that we could talk about players who are maybe, disappointing. And I got to talk about a guy that I was really high on this summer. I got sucked into the spring, talk and buzz, and that is Caleb Odom, tight end / wide receiver from Alabama. Okay, I got sucked in. He was really making a big impression in the spring. I kind of had a bold prediction early in the season that he was going to be one of the top receivers in the Alabama wide receiver room, but that has been given to Ryan Williams right now, who is stealing the show at Alabama. I got some films on this YouTube channel of him, so go check that out. But Caleb Odom through 5 games, has 5 receptions for 62 yards. The last 2 games against Georgia and Vanderbilt, he has come up with a big goose egg, all right? I thought that they were going to get this guy involved early, and he was really impressive. He's big. He's like 6'5", so he's on that borderline tight end, monster wide receiver. They said they were going to move him to wide receiver, but I just don't know why he was getting open in space. All the teammates were talking about him, that he was like a difference maker. He was a freak. He was getting open. The movement skills, the coming out of his breaks, he was uncoverable in practice. I got sucked in, and I apologize if you guys drafted him in your C2C or Devy startup leagues. I apologize. I'm littered with shares with this guy. Doesn't mean that he doesn't rebound. Some guys, it takes a little longer to get acclimated to the college game from high school. I get it. So I'm not hitting the panic button just yet. However, he's got to be a stock down player right now because he just is not producing. And I really feel outside of Ryan Williams, there's room for somebody to emerge, and he's just not, taking advantage of his opportunity. Okay. Second guy I want to talk to, McKai Lemon, wide receiver from USC, guy that got a ton of hype and buzz coming out. He is a true sophomore right now, so he's not draft eligible until 2027. But nonetheless, he is just not getting it done through 3 games. He has 7 receptions for 70 yards. He's been nicked up a little bit this year with injury, but even this last week against Minnesota here, he had 3 catches for 37 yards. And again, outside of Zachariah Branch, Jacoby Lane is kind of taking that next step. And there's other players. There's so many wide receivers. I'm just not sure he is going to get enough production to showcase his skills. And he is more of a short area, slot receiver anyway. He played 100% of his snaps in the slot, really 90% in the first 4 games, and only 10% out wide. So again, Miller Moss is throwing the ball around all over the field, and I was kind of hoping that McKai Lemon, I know Jason was a fan of him coming out of high school as well. I think he played with Raiola. In high school. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I know they played in the Polynesian Bowl game together, and they had some flashes together, but I thought people, was thinking that Lemon was going to come in and be an exciting wide receiver. Sophomore season just hasn't lived up to the billing. So those are my 2 stock down players. Like I said, hope you enjoyed the show. And these are going to be weekly shows, man. I'm going to do a college football show like this, and I also do a 2025 rookie show like this also on this channel. So again, this channel is dedicated to helping you identify future Dynasty assets for your upcoming rookie drafts. If you enjoy the content, please hit that subscribe button. Help me grow the channel. Thanks for watching.